that bummed, but you didn't ask me a real question.
Okay, so first national championship in the Masters race. How did it feel?
It's actually my second.
Is it?
When I was 29, was the year I turned pro, so I got to do the 30-plus race that year. It's my come out of retirement race. I only got 6 then.
We get you on this side so we can get the sun in your face. Get that pretty look. Where'd those guys eventually lose you?
It was a really chaotic first lap. We were just smashing into each other. It melted so much from just the warm-up that I'd done before. I definitely started on the wrong tires, but this section here never stayed frozen underneath, so the ruts didn't move. With a slippery layer of mud, like, we were just smashing into each other. Guys were going to the tape. The guy who won the start was going way too fast. But I caught back up to Pete on the climb, and that made me think, okay, like, I'm going to be good. That was the test for me. We came into the end of the first lap all together, and I thought, this is perfect. Then we hit this section on the second lap. He kind of attacked going into it. He had course tape in his wheel, and so I knew he had also had a problem. And then I just blew that whole section. I mean, I caught every rut the wrong way, was definitely on the wrong tires, and those guys got a gap on me, and so I just had to go into, just started riding steady and hope they made the same mistakes. And then changed bikes from Griffos to Limas. And as soon as I did that, I started going twice as fast. I mean, I could ride the ruts better, I could rail the turns, and then I punctured. I wasn't probably going to catch them back. I mean, I maybe got it down to 15 seconds at one point, and then when I flatted, I rode a half a lap on the flat and lost a minute.
Were you surprised at how well they were going, or is that what you expected?
No, I mean, I think I've been saying this all along. Like, I'm not better than those guys, and depending on the course and the form that they have, and with the two of them together, I mean, that couldn't have been worse for me, you know? They're going to wait for each other a little bit and, you know, ride steady together and make sure that I don't catch back on. I just had to count on them making mistakes, but I think I made more today.
Are you going to be like a Don Myra, one of those guys who's going to do 20 Masters National Championships when you're done for the elites?
I was so excited yesterday before this race, and this morning, you know, I could barely contain myself, and I thought, oh, this is the best feeling I've ever had in my life. Like, nothing makes me happier or more excited than bike racing. When I saw Myra win in the category before, I was like, fuck, I'd love to be Don Myra, you know? I just, yeah, I'm going to keep racing my bike forever, and there's no substitute for that feeling. I was excited like I was 16 years old. So third place.
I thought you were 16.
Yeah, 39 going on 16.
Well, you think it's going to stay like this, similar for tomorrow for the elites?
I think it's going to get muddier and muddier.
What do you want?
Over the course. If I could have raced the 9 o'clock race today, I couldn't believe how fast I was going. I was warming up. Yeah. And it was like a different course 1 hour later. So I would have liked those frozen conditions, because I can ride over the frozen ruts and I could pick where I wanted to go, and I just felt like surgical. Yeah. And with the layer of mud on top of it, it was more, I had to react to things. I couldn't point where I wanted as much. So, I don't know, I'd like 50 more watts of threshold, honestly. That'd be the best. So, if you could get that.
You can buy that over in Europe.
You can, but you know that's not how I play the game, so.
So as a race promoter, how do you like the course?
It's really good, actually. Thanks, man. It's really challenging. I think if it was dry, what do we got here? Thank you, sir. If it was dry, it would still be really, really hard, and I think it would have a different characteristic, but it would be fair, and the best rider would still win. So.
Cool. So what was the hardest part of the course for you? I heard it was supposed to be the hills.
Yeah, I mean, what's going on there, but I was struggling. I mean, once I was alone, I couldn't attack the hill as much because I'd been in the wind. When I was with those guys on the first lap, I really, like, I rode it in the big ring and I was strong. But once we were riding a steady effort, I couldn't sprint the hill. And I think those guys are going to ride away from me there. And then once I punctured, I couldn't take it back.
Where did you puncture?
I just had the sense of it going up the climb one lap that I was bottoming out a little bit more. So I had to ride all those downhills.
Yeah.
Like, I had a little bit of air left. It wasn't completely flat, but I couldn't rip the turns or anything. So yeah, I rode a half a lap like that. Like I said, I lost a minute.
Is that how the gap opened up, the first gap?
No, the first gap opened up because I just botched this section, and there was no line. Like, there was nothing you could do in there. You just had to ride it and react and hope you got lucky. The laps that I tried to go where I wanted, I usually made mistakes because I couldn't overpower the ruts. So later, my fastest lap was probably my last lap. It took me until then to have the tires I wanted and no flat and finally have the course figured out. And I flew on the last lap, but yeah, you know, big deal.